Um, the meeting will now come to order. Let's do a roll call. I'll start. Bill Chaput.
Cassidy Norton.
Stuart Beasley.
Once I have figured out how to unmute myself, Dottie Durst.
All right. We can hear everybody. Citizens' comments. I don't see anybody else in here with us tonight, so I think we can skip over that. We don't really need to designate any alternates. Meeting minutes. I read through them. Everything looked good to me. Did you guys have any issues looking through the minutes from last week or last month?
No.
No.
All right. Can we get a motion to approve the minutes?
So made.
Second?
Second.
All in favor? Aye.
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 And I need to abstain because I was absent. This is Dottie.
Gotcha. Okay. All right. New business. No applications or anything as far as I know. Our
Bill,
administrator.
can I interrupt,
Yeah.
please, for a second? I'm not
Of
sure
course.
where it goes under new business, but
Yeah.
John Koskowski's firm, Tai Chi something, in other words, and Halloran and Sage, the attorneys, conducted a training, 100%. It was a webinar, and it was about changes to the mandates for affordable housing that Woodstock's going to have to work its way through. The ZBA is
Okay.
already working on that, but the training is available, and anybody who didn't get to go could look at it. It's highly likely, from what was said at the meeting by the professionals, that the ZBA might be well involved as members of the public hear what was going to be proposed for a certain parcel. So ask for it at Guskowski's office at the land use office, and he can give you the link to it. Thank you.
All right. Thank you. All right. Off to administrative business. Thank you very much, Cassidy, for going through all the work of putting this together for us. If I can find it again, I just had it open here. There we go. Did everybody get a chance to read through these at all?
Hope
didn't
so.
get it.
Bill,
Sorry, I
Bill,
sent
do
it
you-
15 minutes ago.
No problem.
Bill, do you want people to raise their hand or just holler out when they want to say something? How you'd like this to go on Zoom?
This is new for me, so I'm up for suggestions, and I'm fine with just kind of stopping us dead in our tracks so we can talk about stuff.
Okay, well then I'm going to ask if I can start out, please. We're
Of
on
course.
administrative business, and we're under number A, discussion of bylaws. I want to make sure my tape recorder catches it, the Zoom recording catches it, and every single one of those 1,000 people who read the minutes all see it. The phenomenal job that Cassie did. Just incredible, very detailed and very professional. So thank you, Cassie. I just want
You're
it all in
welcome.
the public record.
For the record, this is what I do for a living. So
For a record, you didn't have to do it for us, but you did a great job. Thank you.
you're welcome.
I look forward to seeing it. I didn't see it.
All right, I'll forward it to you, Stu. Sorry, I sent it out yesterday to Dottie and Tracy and said, should I do anything else with this? And then I didn't hear anything else, so I sent it last second.
Yeah.
I'm
So
seeing low bandwidth over here.
There's Stu. I don't know why this thing doesn't want to attach anything. So I have this formatted with the comments in red. So anything that anybody brought up as a discussion point, there's a couple of proposals of where to put citizens' comments in the agenda. And then the black text is the original text as it currently appears, and then underneath it in blue is various suggested changes, like Article 2, the name of the commission, got 3 edits proposed to it, so all 3 of them
Gotcha.
are there.
All right. Yeah, I was thinking that we could just kind of go through them section by section. We'll wait for Stuart to get his copy over. And then, yeah, it's laid out great.
There it is. Okay, I got it.
Oh, and the everything that's in brackets that has little dots in it just means that whoever proposed that change proposed it only to that sentence. So there's like, rather than copying the whole chunk out again, you have dot 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 the first two sentences, the proposed edit dot 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 the rest of the sentences, except where
Right.
it says proposal to delete this sentence.
Okay.
Do we have the opportunity to screen share the document?
Probably.
Oh boy.
That way everybody can see the same thing at the same time.
Let's see.
I'm doing it.
All right.
There we go. You guys see that?
Yeah.
That was smart, Jody. Good suggestion.
Thank you, Cass.
This is good. Now I can take notes on this document itself in real time. So I don't know, you guys want me to lead you through this?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. So this is my favorite part, is that the objectives and purposes of the Woodstock Zoning Board of Appeals of Woodstock probably only need one Woodstock.
Yeah. That's my very rough draft that I'd given you guys was my hope was just to simplify it. I thought there was a lot of redundant things going on in here. And I just thought simpler the better.
Yeah, I just don't know how much of this is required by law. Like, are we required to say, you know, zoning of Connecticut General Statutes 1958 revision as amended, blah, 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 blah. Like, does that
I
lawfully
think
need to be there or no?
my thought was that the statutes kind of spelt out everything we were doing. So as long as we referred back to them, we didn't need all of the. I don't see how the different dates and everything else makes sense. I mean, I would think if something legal came up, it would go back to whatever the most, current version is. Um, but I could be wrong. I haven't had we haven't been through any legal issues that came to us as a board anyway. Um, that really went too far. So I don't know. I'm not sure. It sounded like to me when I read stuff like that, it just kind of looked like somebody was trying too hard to like make it look a little more official than it really was. But
Sure.
it's
Well, we can take it out, and if it needs to go back in, it can go back in.
My thoughts are that over time, different things happen in segments of time. During that segment of time, the appropriate jurisdiction is outlined in the regulations. So if something happened in 1964 as opposed to 1958, then the rules and regulations during 64 apply. But if somebody did something in 54 or 58, that's when they were acting on that group of regulations. So it is pertinent, it is relevant. I don't know that it really matters if it takes that much more ink. I think it's good to have as a reference. These bylaws just will be. You can see at the top of the page. Mine's kind of blocked out, but they have been itemized when they're adopted, and the date is relevant to what the activities are doing. So I wouldn't necessarily just throw stuff out. I mean, if you can do redundancies, get rid of redundancies or over things that are overworded, that would be my recommendation. That, but a lot of it, unless we have a legal review, um, I would just not be too quick to throw it out.
Mr. Chairman, in the minutes from the previous meeting when this subject came up, someone made the
Mhm.
comment, I couldn't tell if it was you or Stuart, that the whole thing's going to have to be reviewed by the town attorney anyway. So one technique could be to just leave it as we see it in the black ink, the original, but strike out the parts we think are not needed anymore. Certainly, of course, get rid of the redundancy in the top line. That's just a given.
Mhm.
But as far as the
Yep.
ordinance and the date of the ordinance, put a strike through it and then have the town attorney say, no, no, you have to have it. I know we do have to have chapter 124 zoning of the Connecticut general statutes. Whether we need the
Yep.
revision dates or not, I don't know. So that would
Okay.
be my thought.
Okay.
Yeah, definitely. Because I figured that'd be the best bet anyway. I figured somebody's going to have to take a look at it and make sure that somebody's going to know better than us legally what's required and what needs to be done. So,
Yes, right.
yep, absolutely.
Okay.
So in the blue ink, we can now take out both of the two sections of blue ink. Am I correct?
Yep.
Because we have modified the black ink version, and we're good to go with that. And we'll ask the attorney about the rest.
Yeah, I think so.
Perfect.
Where would you guys like to put the quotation marks on Woodstock Zoning Board of Appeals?
Its official name should not have any quotation marks at all. The second sentence should say, from this point forward, this organization will be known as the ZBA or will be known as the board. And then after that, that's all that appears. But right now, the quotation marks don't belong there. So the
Okay.
second line, the commission shall be known as the Woodstock Zoning Board of Appeals. That one works, and that's correct. And then again, this was to be a sentence that says, from this point forward in this document, this organization is known as the, and then you guys say what you want.
That work?
If you're gonna use the word board, Cassie, you asked that someplace else. Oh, maybe in your email. Should it be capital board or small board, small b board? I would go with one or the other. I would go either with just plain old ZBA or the board, and I would go with capital for B board if I were going to do it that way.
All right. Well, the thing is that there's a lot of references in here that are either the ZBA or the board.
Uh-huh.
So either we have to say will be known as the ZBA and then change everything subsequent, or
Mhm.
we can keep it as both the ZBA
Okay.
or the board. We can
Okay, that was
capitalize
my
board.
opinion. What do you all think?
I would bring it down to one,
Okay.
ZBA is pretty easy.
And it's commonly accepted as well, by the public. Board can be ambiguous. There's also the Board of Selectmen. There's also, so
Very
Right.
true.
the ZBA is crystal clear, I think.
Okay. Okay, on to the next. So here we have someone had a proposal or a note that the ZBA doesn't have an office. So this part up here, the office of the Woodstock Zoning Board of Appeals shall be at the Woodstock Town Hall where all board records will be kept. So I sort of combined sentences to, oh no, I didn't, but somebody did. So we'll just go with, the office of the Zoning Board of Appeals, or I guess it would be ZBA at this point, And then I think it was Dottie who recommended moving the number of members up into this section.
Another thing to think of, and it's going to show up later in this document too, is that ZBA itself does have surveys, which are in the land use office, the applicant's form, and subsequent documents to support the application. None of it's in the town clerk's office. It's all in the land use office. And so it seems logical where it says the office shall be in the Woodstock Town Hall in the land use office, and the official documents are filed with the office of the town clerk.
All right. Copies
that's
of all
good.
official records.
Yep.
All right, good.
Yep.
Okay.
And we're
About
going to
the-
come to that in another place too. So you'll see it. It will clean up the other place we're going to come to.
Okay. And about the proposal to move there will be 5 regular board members and 3 alternates. I don't think that goes under office of the board.
That's right.
I think
It's
that
really
goes under
weird.
membership.
Right.
It does. It's weird there, and but it's kind of weird where it was before also. So let's park it by membership, and then if we need to move it again after.
So now, a silly question where it says office of the board, should we have office of the ZBA instead of office of
Nope.
board?
It's all in the land use office. So we don't
Okay.
have our own.
Gotcha. Okay, so this is just
and
referencing the since we don't have an office, we're just referencing the other two.
And
Gotcha.
one of the things that happens is the Conservation Commission, Inland Wetlands, and other agencies can weigh in on an application that's coming to the ZBA. And all of that is kept in the land use office. So all the support documents for something that might come to land use, from land use to the ZBA, and then subsequently the findings are going to go to the town clerk. So I think the way you've got it is probably good.
All right, I think we can move this part. There shall be 5 regular board members and 3 alternates. I think we can put that right at the beginning of
Membership. Yeah, right
that
there.
program. Section 2 or section 1?
Might as well. I was thinking maybe section 1, because then after that you're kind of describing what the terms will be. So at least if seems like what the membership is should be before the terms.
Okay. That in section 1. And then there was a proposal in the previous section 1 to change that first sentence to the membership and terms of office shall be as specified in the ordinance mentioned above.
Now, we just took reference to that ordinance out. So just leave it that it says shall be in terms of the ordinance or the Woodstock ordinances, because we took the reference to it out. So we can't put mentioned above.
Okay. Make this our black section. Go back to black. This is the old one. Okay, so now we have for section 1, the membership in terms of office shall be as specified in the Woodstock Town ordinances. There shall be 5 regular board members and 3 alternates. Do we want to change that board to ZBA? There shall be 5 regular ZBA members.
You can change it in the title, put ZBA membership, then you don't have to do it in every single place. So you have the membership, Article 4. That'll work too, right there works too.
Actually, I think we could just say, yes, 5 regular members and 3 alternates.
Good.
Okay. Section 2. So I like this edit, whoever that was. So we'll just take it down from rewriting this first sentence, and then the Board of Selectmen shall fill by appointment any vacancies occurring among the alternates. And then we can just take out this whole thing about all vacancies shall be filled within 30 days of the date of their occurrence, because I don't think that's something that we can necessarily
No.
guarantee. It's optimistic, but
I think we should put a strikeout through it because that one might be statutory.
okay.
Just put a strikeout. And then in the blue writing, I read it as vacancies on the ZBA shall be filled from the alternate members, not filled with. And again, ZBA members are just members. Yep. I'm pointing to it. That doesn't help you.
Okay. I think these are just, so I tried to be very precise about this. So these are just edits to the punctuation in the sentence. Somebody added a period to the end of the sentence.
Yeah,
And
that's good.
somebody else added more commas, I think. So that's actually the only change to this, is to just
Yeah, I have some comments
put
about
the period
commas too.
there.
Mhm. Are
Well,
you
that
on
was-
resignations or still up there?
I think we can move to required training, because we just needed a period on that sentence. That was the only real edit there. Okay, required training.
Can you go back up to resignations?
Yep.
In the blue copy, it said the chair, transmitted to the chair, who will then forward the same to the town clerk. Am I correct? You took that out. Version 2 took it out. Who
Yeah.
will then forward
Okay.
them to the town clerk.
We'll then
See,
forward them to, yep.
on section 3, near the end, it says forward
Yep.
the same to the town clerk, but the
Yep.
next blue version takes it out, and the second blue version is the one you want. So the word same should come out, and it's just forward the list or the change to the town clerk. Shall be forwarded to the town clerk.
At one point, it seemed to me that it had to go to the council, the first selectman for the town clerk. When Marty Niesky resigned, I think somewhat how that was cited.
That's a good point, Stu. Yes, there is a procedural part that it does have to go to the Board of Selectmen, but I don't know if the town clerk sends it. I don't know if it needs to go to the selectman's office first or the town clerk's office first.
We should check that out, because I think it goes to
Yep.
the first selectman first.
Yep. That's a good thing to ask the town attorney. Maybe it's in statute.
Because in that case, if there is a resignation and the Board of Selectmen has to fill the empty seat, then they should know first.
That's right. Well, maybe, as I said, maybe it's just procedural that it goes to the town clerk to be filed, and then it goes on the agenda from the selectman's office. But I'm not sure, so we need to make sure.
I think that might be the steps, but I'll add that comment to make sure that we get that checked out. So it's all good. Resignations from the ZBA shall be in written form, shall include an effective date, and shall be transmitted to the chair, who will then forward them to the town clerk. or the Board of Selectmen, TBD.
Yeah.
I would go, just from what I experienced, I would go to the Board of Selectmen. But that's kind of the hierarchy of it. As I experienced, I don't know.
Well, that's why we
Do
have
you
the
think-
comment question over here, so we can get that figured out.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Who
Bob?
would, do you think there's anybody that would know that right off the top of their head from the town hall? I mean, I could give Chan a call tomorrow and see what he thinks, see if he knows one way or the other, or check with Tracy or,
Well, when Marty Niesky did resign, it was brought up right at that point, and
yep,
Jay Swan was sitting right next to him. So I wrote a letter. No, Marty wrote a letter, handed it to me. I gave it to Jay, and everybody was happy. They said that's the way we do it.
okay.
When I was asked to resign the position of alternate member, I was at the town clerk's office, I think getting a dump pass, and she said, "Did you resign from the ZBA?" And I said, "Yes." And she said, "Can you please put it in writing?" And I said, "Yes." And she had me write something right there and give it to her, the town clerk,
Huh.
to the board.
So two different experiences.
Yes.
Right. I'll make a couple calls tomorrow and see if I can, maybe we send it to both of them and somebody's gotta know the right place to put it.
And the sequence, yes.
Right.
Under training, I have a question. Look at the top line. It says shall be offered to the ZBA members,
Mhm.
but we don't offer it. And I don't know how we can be sure that we do offer it. So the word offered is bothering me. And I think what it actually means is the members of the ZBA should be informed about training opportunities, which is the training is now mandated by state law, which it was not at that time. So ZBA members should be informed of the training being offered on an annual basis, something like that. But the word offered has bothered me. You all, what do you think?
Provided, maybe informed.
We can't provide it.
Well,
We can
no, but
provide the information, right?
somebody's providing it, and it's not an option.
Right.
You've got to take these things. So informed of or notified.
Yep.
Isn't
And
enough.
it can be, yeah.
It's a requirement.
Well,
It can be-
it also says shall be offered to ZBA members or should be offered to ZBA members. And then the next part is and shall be required on a frequency and amount per the state statutes. So you're informed and you have to do it.
So we don't have to offer it. We can, let's see, may subsequently be modified. The ZBA members shall be informed, if this is what it should say, of training opportunities. There you go. And it's going to be opportunities, plural.
Yeah.
I think that's clearer. It doesn't imply that we're providing it or offering it. Good, okay.
If consistency, we're going to capitalize town hall. Okay. Offices are in their duties. Nobody had any.
Let's go back to that one
Propose-
for one. Can we go back to that one more second? Under the
This one? Yeah.
training, it says the members' training record is retained in the town hall, shall we add there in the land use office?
Sure.
That's where it actually is retained. Okay, so it doesn't have to have town hall unless you want it to, shall be retained in the land use office. And the person who works in that office now, who tracks it for us, and she provides the written list of our training we've attended.
Mm-hmm. It's probably better not to say town hall, just in case they decide to move their office at some point in the
Yeah,
future.
yeah. We've already referenced the land use office previously.
Yes. Okay, so this one combine, there was a proposal to combine section 2 and 3. So we'll have the chair shall preside at all meetings and hearings of the ZBA and shall have the duties normally conferred by parliamentary usage on such officers.
I think from my recollection from the Freedom of Information Act training, that the clearer it is for a member of the public to put a finger on the section that refers to that person's question, the clearer it is and easier it is, the better. So in section 2, we have some basic information about what the chair shall do. But in section 3, we sort of changed the subject, and we were acknowledging the privilege that the chair has, and that a member of the public might question. So for me, keeping section 3 separate, to me, feels like the member of the public could find it fast if they needed to, or if one of us needed to, we could find it fast.
Okay. Do we need this part that says, and shall have the duties normally conferred by parliamentary usage on such officers?
No, this stays right there.
So we
Yeah,
can't
I don't
delete that part?
so.
Mhm,
Okay.
mhm. And then
Okay.
I would leave all of that alone.
Okay. The vice chair shall act for the chair in that person's absence and have the authority to perform the duties prescribed for that office.
The blue version is better.
Okay. So that's the vice chair shall act for the chair in that person's absence and shall have all associated duties and authority for that office. So we'll make that
Right.
our new one. Okay.
Yep. And I'm going to say ditto for number 5. The blue one is better.
Okay.
And it is okay, in my opinion, to delete that last sentence.
Okay. I don't know how we got to section 1.
Yeah,
But-
well, we're in a new article. A new article.
Yeah, I don't know where that went. Because it goes,
Oh, look
I
at
think
that.
it got deleted somehow.
Must have. Yeah, it should be 7 because the previous one was 6. Good catch.
No, I don't. I don't see it.
Yeah, it got dropped out of the draft.
What's it called?
6, Article 6.
Yeah, that Article 7 is election of officers.
Mhm.
Okay. Lost that somehow. All right, Article 7, election of officers. You got several proposed rewrites on this 2 sentence bit. The shortest one is the Zoning Board of Appeals first annual meeting shall include an election of officers or review of the bylaws and other administrative business. I'm just,
Did you guys all get a chance to read our own minutes going back about the quarterly meeting dates and the obstacles that we hit this past year with that? I think we have to go back ourselves, not in terms of the bylaws, ourselves, and review what month of the year the first quarter starts with and the last quarter ends with. If there was something weird about we had to do something in a certain month, but it wasn't one of the quarterly
it
official
was
meetings.
January. I think it was, we had to have a January meeting.
Okay, so this is what the attempt to fix this one? Because it looks like in the blue writing already says January.
One of them does.
See, it was January, February, March, and then April, and then going backwards, October, November, December, and there's some stuff we had to do. Anyway, I'm gonna be bold enough to say I would like to put section 1 aside till I have a chance to do some more homework. Come back to it next time. If you guys are ready to move ahead on it, then that's okay with me.
What is it that we're trying to figure out on it? As
The
far as dates go?
the annual organizational meeting date, the month of the annual organizational meeting for many boards
Yep.
and commissions is in December, because you have to, in their bylaws, they're trying to end the calendar year by getting some stuff wrapped up. And don't forget, the
Yeah.
month before that, we have to get our budget. Every board and commission has to get a budget so there's different months that things are mandated to happen. And I'm not confident that I am on top of the annual organizational meeting requirements to be able to make a suggestion for this for section 1. I'd like to do some more homework and come back. But if you guys are ready, I see it's all set up for January. And if you guys are ready, we can go ahead and act on this. And then if after we do some more research, we have to tweak it, fine.
What are you saying, Dottie, is that it should possibly be December?
Yes.
Okay.
I think there's merit in that, but I think January makes sense.
Yeah, it does.
December-
I agree.
December for the budget, but January for the officers.
Well, let's go ahead. If you guys are comfortable with this, let's go ahead with it this way. And then if we come back next time and we need to make a modification, we'll address it then. This is fine.
Okay.
Okay, which one? There's 3 options.
I like the third one, but I don't like the word first. It's not the first
Okay.
annual meeting, it's the first monthly meeting. So just take the word first out and no, there you go. Annual, there you go. Now, right now, what I'm looking at is behind the black bar in my computer that says floating reactions in the caption. So I can't see what it says down there. So if you guys can see it, you modify it the way you want. I put a check mark on that line on my paper version of it, though.
All right, I think we got to do the ZBA's annual meeting in January. Will include organization. I don't know. We got to say something about organization in the first part there.
I don't know that we do need to. Just the annual meeting is clear.
Okay.
Anybody think we need to have the word organizational?
No,
Okay. ZBA's annual meeting in January shall include an election of officers, a review of the bylaws, and other administrative business.
And we definitely don't need the part about it being part of the minutes, so we're good on that too.
Okay.
Perfect.
And this may change if we discover that it is mandated
Yeah.
to be in another month, but
Mhm,
we'll see.
mhm.
Okay. Okay.
Bill, I just need to interrupt for 1 second. I have received a memo that I'm going to have a phone call coming in at 7 p.m. that I'm going to have to take. So I just want to give you a
Okay.
heads up. 7 o'clock, I'll say goodnight and have to exit.
All right.
Okay, then we should, I think, probably ask you, Dottie, if there are any sections in here that require your particular expertise and knowledge, you know, because we can make text edits all we want, but if there's anything else in here that you saw that you know we should talk to you about before you have to depart.
I put check marks in a whole bunch of different sections on page 6. Oh, your page numbers may change now. Okay, let's see. Under Article 8 meetings, keep going to section 6. And it says a special meeting may be called by the chair and must be posted in the town clerk's office 24 hours. I think it was changed after COVID that the 24 hours is not correct anymore. So I would modify that to say must be posted in the town clerk's hours per Freedom of Information Act regulations.
I think it's 48. I think it's 48 hours.
Yeah, I think it's 48, and particularly if it's a hybrid, it must be. But this just says a special meeting, and right now we're doing hybrid. We're doing Zoom.
Okay.
So that's the one I.
Because if you have a meeting on Monday, then I think it has to be scheduled by Wednesday, possibly.
Yeah. Nope, has to be on the town website on Thursday because the town hall's closed on Friday.
Right.
Cassie, you also mentioned.
That's why it says 48 hours.
Yeah, I think that's not going to be right. Under Article 10:11 hearings, Section 2, it says in red, competent stenographer. Huh? What? Competent stenographer. I think that is archaic language, and I think it just needs to be a sound recording device as mandated by the state of Connecticut. A sound recording device is a handheld tape recorder, not a Zoom. So after the meetings are over, I carry the handheld tape recorder to the town, the selectman's office, and they copy the recording to a file, and they keep it. They're required to keep it for so many years. So the sound recording device is the legal requirement. Competent stenographer.
My delete button has decided not to function. There we go. All right. A sound recording device shall take the evidence at each hearing before the ZBA in which the right to appeal lies to the Superior Court.
Got it?
Applies?
That can't be right.
Lies,
yes,
lies with?
Yes, it does. My opportunity lies with what the general statutes say. Yes, it lies. The hearing before the ZBA is in which the right to appeal lies with the Supreme Court.
Okay. Supreme or Superior?
That's better.
Supreme or Superior Court?
Yeah. The next thing I really flagged was Article 13, Public Relations. Article 13, Public Relations. I know I'm jumping all over for you guys.
I know. Bill, do you need what were you going to say?
Oh,
Article
no, I was going to say, I don't know if it's Supreme or Superior.
It's Superior.
Okay.
Superior. All right.
We'll leave it where it is.
It's Superior.
Okay. All right. Where to, Dottie?
13, Public Relations. Yeah. Now, see, it says appointed or designated. Let me find this here. In the blue writing, it says the chair or board, appointed or designated member. It does have to be a chair appointed, not just any random board member, because now we're talking about standing in front of a camera and a microphone out there with the radio station or the TV or the newspaper, and whatever gets said has to be tightly controlled by the chair. So if the chair can't do the public relations, the chair does have to appoint or designate either a board member or a staff person to handle that particular moment. So in the blue writing, it says the chair, board member, or staff personnel shall act, but instead it should say the chair shall appoint a board member or staff member to act as public relations. There you go. That way, and then we see at the next one down, it says majority of the board's determination.
Mm-hmm.
We have to be careful that the wording is clear, that we can't have any member of the board giving an opinion. So that's what this text is all about. No opinions. The chair appoints a board member or staff personnel to step in front of the camera and talk about what happened. And it's got to be not what is the majority of the board's determination. No, it's either the finding was this, the vote was this, or we're awaiting a document from Conservation Commission, or we're awaiting an inland wetlands report. So it's going to be all facts, and it can't be represent the majority of the board's anything.
That's like saying the opinion.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. So I think that whole black sentence should come out, and just leave it just like you got it. All that blue stuff comes out. That one was of great concern. And the rest, Cassie, I can't praise you enough for everything that you did.
Thank you.
There's lots more that I have check marks and stuff on. So let's go back to where we started, where Dottie started, and I'll keep going till my conference call comes in.
Okay. Where were we?
Bill, if the call, I think the call is probably going to come in before the meeting is over. Can you just jot down the time the meeting ends so I can put that at the end of the minutes?
Will do.
I'm going to leave the tape recorder running so it'll catch the rest of the commentary and the end of the agenda, but just say out loud what time the meeting is adjourned, if you would, please.
Will do. I'll get
Okay,
to
thanks.
it for sure.
Okay, I think this is where we left off. Nominations shall be made from the floor at the organizational meeting, and elections of the officers specified in Section 1 of Article 6 shall follow immediately thereafter. It does say right here that we're going to do an election of officers. But
Right.
Isn't this kind of redundant?
Yeah, it's kind of like, if anything, yeah, I don't know.
I think it's just expanding on that, because on Section 3 is a candidate receiving a majority vote at which a quorum of members is present shall be declared elected and shall serve for 1 year until the successor shall take office. So I think it's just sort of clarifying what those elections and responsibilities
Right.
are and how they work. So that could be Section 1A, just to make this outline really confusing.
I was going to say it can kind of all be combined.
Yeah, I think so.
Nations. I think we can probably delete the part that just says nominations shall be made from the floor. And then skip right to an elections of the officers specified in 1, yada yada. Get rid of the at organizational meeting.
So keep shall be made from the floor and just take out at the organizational meeting.
I think so, because we're already
Okay.
talking about the meeting right above it.
Okay. And then candidate receiving a majority vote at which you don't have to say that. That means the same thing.
Nomination.
No, it doesn't. We might have to keep that. Because so you have to have a quorum, which means if there's 5 of us, there has to be 3 members. And of those 3 members, the person has to receive a majority vote. So they have to get 2 of the quorum who is present,
Mhm.
just to make that real complicated.
Yep, that's right.
So maybe we just leave that sentence alone.
Yep. Yeah.
This one is
I put a check mark on your modification, blue line, top blue line, approve, review, and approve.
okay. The question here is, what do we do about regular meetings will be held on the 3rd Monday of each month in town hall. Regular meetings confirmed at 6 p.m. So, because that is what we're doing. We do have our meetings scheduled every month, and then we just
Right.
cancel them.
And we have to watch out for that 24-hour thing too. So
Yeah,
I
I
would
was
take
just gonna say, it should be
take that
48.
out. Or just don't put per FOIA requirements.
The only issue with that with putting the well, I guess not. They can look it up. As I say, if we're trying to make it foolproof for everybody, I guess that number
Well, it's
could
kind
always
of tricky.
change. So
If it's hybrid, it's different than a regular meeting.
Right.
If it's a special, quote unquote, like if you change the day of the week or you start at 7 p.m., that makes it a special meeting. And we don't want to have to get into the little teeny details about what notification, how many hours it requires. So I would go with that.
Okay.
Okay.
And if the town attorney doesn't like it, he'll let us know.
Yeah, that was one of the questions I had farther down in the document, was whether or not we can make this an active document so you could put links in it.
Yes,
So
I saw
right
that. I think
there.
that would be good. I think we can work on that one. That was good. A good
Okay.
idea.
So the clerk shall oversee notification of the membership of all meetings per FOIA requirements. And then right there, we can link to the FOIA notification
Right.
requirements so
Right.
that whoever's
Perfect.
reading this can just jump off and go to wherever that is without having to look it up.
Right.
And if it changes, we don't have to update the bylaws because it's linked to their website and they can
Mhm.
do their own
Yep.
thing.
We
Okay.
can
I
leave
like
it
that idea.
generic like it is, right?
Okay.
Okay, you can, I do think you should leave the shall review and approve the schedule. So if you just put the and approve up there, go, you got it.
Yep.
It's already there. Good. Okay.
So shall we say, in the event of conflict with holidays or other events, a majority may change the customary meeting date instead of said meeting.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
Good.
And then the schedule shall be submitted to the town clerk during the month of
Mhm.
December. I think we
Yep.
have to keep that.
Yep, we do.
Okay. There we go.
I thought that was a good proposal in the top blue line, 3 regular and or alternates. Five is your full board, but a quorum is 3, either full members or alternates. The way you've got it is good. And the last sentence, the minimum of 4 votes is statutory.
Okay.
So the way it sits in black right now is good, right?
I think so.
Okay.
I put a check mark on that top blue line. Oop, that top blue line. If a regular member is absent, the chair shall. I put a check mark on that.
Okay.
And then similarly in the next blue section, you have added in act as a seated member. That's good. And I put a check mark on that too.
I'll move that up here so we can see where it's supposed to go. All right, so if a regular member is absent or disqualified, the chair shall designate an alternate to act as a so these two sentences kind of contradict each other. I mean, well, they don't, but this one has more, talking about choosing the alternates in rotation.
It's important that they are in rotation. That's, I think, statutory as well.
Okay. Act. A seated member choosing alternates in rotation so that they shall act as nearly equal a number of times as possible. When seated, the alternate shall have all the powers and duties of a full member. So we can take out this whole giant long sentence.
Mm-hmm, yep.
Mhm.
I don't really understand that.
Which part?
Say it again, Stuart.
The chair shall designate an alternate to act as a seated member, choosing alternates in rotation so that they shall act as nearly equal a number of times as possible. That's a little confusing right there.
The word act is the confusing part, that they shall be an active seated member. The concept is the concept under the radar is you don't want the chair to be constantly choosing his buddy to be the seated alternate, ignoring the others, or that there could be a political slant to it, that it's always the member of that party who is seated and the member of the other party who's not seated. So that's what's under the radar there. So you want so that they serve as nearly equal a number of times as possible. Look at that, what it says there.
I would take as nearly out and just say shall serve equally.
Well, you can't because, if I'm an alternate and I go to Florida for 4 months in the winter, my rotation is going to get passed over. So it can't be always, or medical reason. So nearly equal.
That's a circumstance.
It is, right. And it can go into the minutes, therefore you would be right.
When I had done my revision, I had actually gotten rid of that part altogether. It seemed very elementary schoolish.
Mm-hmm.
I just kind of figured it went without saying, if we had a full board and full alternates at all times, then it would be a no-brainer, I would think, to
that's correct.
kind of ditch it up.
But just like some other protocols that the chairman has, in this case, the chair would say, most recently, when we needed an alternate to be seated as a full member, it was X who was seated, and therefore Y, who is here tonight, will be seated. So just get it in the record that the chair is trying to take turns among the alternates. That's all that's going to matter. The tape recorder is hearing it, and it doesn't even matter if it goes in the minutes. The tape recorder's got it.
Gotcha.
So if we could take out this part So we end up with, if a regular member is absent or is disqualified, the chair shall designate an alternate to act as a seated member. If an alternate is not available in accordance with,
That's it.
but
Equal,
we can't say such rotation because we didn't say rotation yet.
equal, say with equal rotation.
Yes. Okay.
There you go.
I think that does it better.
Yeah, me too.
I like that a whole lot better because you get the same. It says it without having to say it.
Okay. 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 All DBA meetings shall be open to the public except when executive session. An executive session may convene if 2/3 of the agency members in attendance at a public hearing vote to close it after stating one of the 3 permitted reasons per FOIA for an executive session. It's got a lot of redundancies in it. And any actions by the board must be taken after the regular meeting convenes. We have to keep that because that is you can't take any action in executive sessions.
Right.
Yeah, this one down here, this is just a punctuation edit for commas, which I disagree with, but I put it in there because it was proposed. I think we can take out this part though, so you can say vote to close it after stating one of the 3 permitted reasons per FOIA. I think you don't need to say for an executive session
Right.
again.
Yep. Yeah.
Okay.
I would say, in my opinion, is if you see something that doesn't make sense punctuation wise, since you're the only editor in the group, I'd go with you.
I have issues with some of the commas. We'll get to those.
All right.
Besides, we're all going to read it through again anyway.
Yes, this will all be in the minutes of the next meeting. All right. Okay. I think we should keep all ZBA meetings shall be open to the public except when in executive session. Because somebody had struck ZBA down here. And I think we should keep that. Nobody had any changes to this one, except we're gonna make it the ZBA. Unless otherwise specified, Robert's Rules of Order shall govern the proceedings at the meetings of the ZBA. Shall govern the proceedings at ZBA meetings.
There you go. Now, while we're looking at the footer down there, Cassie, when you get an opportunity, you don't have to do it now. Just under review and today's date should be inserted there.
Okay.
ZBA under review and this date, something like that. You don't have to do it now.
Okay.
Good. It's important to note the dates and the relationship of the dates, like up there in the header.
Mm-hmm.
It just shows relationships.
All right. So we've come back around to where we were talking with Dottie. A special meeting may be called by the chair and must be posted in the town clerk's office. Do we have a time frame here? 48 hours prior to a meeting with members and the public duly notified?
Well, I think Stu is correct, but that's the hybrid and the special, I can't recall. So I would go back to that phrase we used before, in compliance with the FOIA regulations. Special meeting called, chair posted, in compliance with FOIA regulations.
We'll just say FOIA.
Yep.
Compliance with the Freedom of Information Act.
Okay, that's me. I'm being excused, please.
Okay, bye.
All right, thanks,
Thank
Dottie.
you.
Bye,
Thank
Dottie.
you. 7:10. Hey there. How's things on your end?
We still got you, Dottie.
All right.
Um,
So we're good with section 6.
And then there was a suggestion to move this sentence, which was located in a different place. The clerk of the board shall issue a call for a special meeting either at the discretion of the chair of the board or upon a written request of any two members. I don't have a problem moving that there.
The original.
What's the question?
This last sentence here, the clerk of the board shall issue a call for a special meeting either at the direction of the chair of the board or upon a written request of any two members is from Article 6, Section 5, and somebody had proposed moving it into this section. So what section are we in right now? We're currently in Section 7.
Gotcha. Officers and their duties. Yeah, I guess that doesn't really need to be up in section 6.
Yeah, I think so. This is a fine place for that. So I think we can do this. So we could say a special meeting may be called by the chair or upon a written request of any two members, which is what this sentence says.
Yep.
And then just go on to the rest of it. I'm not sure what the clerk of the board shall issue a call for a special meeting means. Especially if you're then going to go into it has to be posted in the town clerk's office.
Right. Clerk of the board.
I guess it's just differentiating between who calls the special meeting.
Right. Like if we decide to have a special meeting, the clerk would,
Issue the
like
call.
in this case, Dottie would let Tracy know that we're doing a special meeting ahead of time.
All right, so what if we do this? The clerk of the too many does the ZBA. Clerk of the ZBA shall issue a call for a special meeting either at the direction of the chair of the board. I think we could take that out. So
Yeah, that's good.
There.
Good.
Perfect.
Okay. Disqualifications. You got a whole big rewrite down here. I suspect we might need to include that the board will choose an alternate according to chapter blah, 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 blah. We might need to include just this part, so.
The remaining members shall choose an alternate.
I'm not sure if disqualify is good. I think recusal might be a better. I don't. Disqualify means invalidate.
Yeah.
Recusal means you're electing to step away because of a potential conflict. Disqualify means it's kind of like a asterisk. Maybe that's too fussy, but usually I hear the word recusal more often than
Yeah.
It makes more sense because you're stepping yourself out. You're not
yeah.
You're not
disqualified. Means
being
kind of makes
kicked
you feel like
out.
you did something wrong.
You haven't done anything wrong.
Right.
Disqualify, which disqualify kind of implies like you did something out of line.
Okay. So our new segment reads, no member shall appear for or represent any person, firm, corporation, or other entity in any matter pending before the ZBA. No member shall participate in the hearing or decision of the ZBA regarding any matter in which he or she is directly or indirectly interested. You don't need that other N in on a personal or financial sense.
Yeah, I don't even if you need that personal or financial sense.
You could be right.
Could be professional, could be something.
Be anything.
Yeah.
Okay, so no member shall participate in the hearing or decision of the ZBA regarding any matter in which he or she is directly or indirectly interested. In the event of such recusal, such facts shall be entered into the records. The remaining members shall choose an alternate in accordance with Chapter 124, Section 8-11. When recusal is questionable, the chair shall make the final decision.
Yeah.
Good.
Yep.
Good. Okay, order of business. Blah, blah, blah. So this is our agenda. So there was several comments about where to put the citizens' comments. So one suggestion was make that number 2, which I don't think is quite right. And another suggestion was to make it number 5. So I think we got to go. I think it belongs down here in public hearing or citizens' comments section.
Well, I think the intent, as I recall, is to have it in 2 places. Like that's what we've recently done on the Wetlands Commission.
Have it in 2 places?
Yeah. It's because before business is begun, there may be a citizen that wants to make or find out about some issue, but we will at that point we will say respectfully, that we will limit any citizen comments to 3 to 5 minutes.
All right. I think we still have to do it a little bit farther down because I think we have to do the call to order, roll call, designation of alternates, and then we can do citizens'
like,
comments. I think we just have to get that admin stuff out of the way and then we can do citizens.
yeah, I kind of agree. I think where you have it at number 4 there is good because meetings called to order, we do a roll call. That way the citizen knows who's out there. Not that they necessarily care what our names are. Designation of alternates, and then we're actually ready to like jump in and deal with anything.
But
Having it,
sorry to interject.
sure.
But at that point, there's no really, that's why I say a limit of 3 to 5 minutes. There's no give and take on it. That person has an opportunity to either ask a question or make a statement, but there's no
discussion at this point.
there's no discussion back and forth. It's not going to take time because that's
Sure.
the key point. The key point is you don't want to lose time where
Right.
it's not been part of the agenda from the beginning. So it's
Yep.
Got it.
impromptu.
So we want to,
don't want to get distracted by
do we
something.
want to include in the bylaws that person is limited to 3 to 5 minutes? I don't think we do. I think we say that at the
Yeah.
meeting.
The
when we
chair
get to
can
that
say
point.
that. The
Yeah.
chair should state at the beginning, when we get to that point, that please keep your comments or questions limited to 3 to 5 minutes.
Yes, I think that works.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay.
Wait, is this I'm sorry, I might be in here. Is there a single set of this is for the agenda for a public where there's a public hearing involved? Oh, don't mind me. I'm looking at today's agenda versus the one that we have on the screen.
Mm-hmm.
And we've got when there's a hearing, if we have an actual hearing, I don't know if we want to hear. How would we go about we don't really want to hear any comments from the citizens about the hearing before it happens. So I think where it sits now is good without the hearing, but like the public hearing isn't even on today's agenda, so I was just looking at the numbers and comparing in my own head. For your average meeting that does not have a hearing,
citizens' comments would be limited to 3 to 5 minutes and to a subject not related to today's meeting.
Okay, so when we do have a public hearing, still keep it in there, and we'll just have to tell them like, if it's about this hearing, you've got to wait till afterwards.
Right.
Because we give them a section where the pros and cons where they can all weigh in. Because what I don't see on the screen right now is the approval of meeting minutes. That's not on that agenda that I see. Oh, right there, review of minutes. Don't mind me. It's all in there. Gotcha. Public hearing.
Do we want them to the citizens have a place to respond to what's happening in the hearing part of it, or do they have to come back to the next meeting to talk?
I'm just speaking empirically with what we do at Wetlands. It's after.
So yeah,
so maybe
during a hearing, usually we go through anything that pertains to the hearing. The applicant comes up, states their case. Anybody that is, say, pro the application goes, you give them their turn, and then anybody that's against it gets their turn. Usually it's just the applicant, they're the only pro.
Yeah.
And then if anybody else shows up, in my experience, it's usually people that don't want it to pass, and then they give all their reasons. But the citizens' comments that we allow, in my head, I'm thinking is more for the person that might just come in and have a question randomly, like, hey, this is what I was thinking. I don't think it's gonna, maybe they're gonna come in and say, I'm gonna put this through to zoning, but I don't think it's gonna pass. Maybe they're gonna say, here's my scenario. Is that something that I don't really know? There's not a lot in the ZBA. We're very
Yeah.
specific, so there's not a lot for the public to come in and ask us unless it's our thoughts on something or how we would look at it. So maybe they know ahead of time. Maybe they don't know there's an application packet that spells it all out. It might be something that's like, I know they have a meeting, I'm going down tonight. I don't think historically, since I've been here anyway, we've really had anybody come in and ask us anything
Hmm.
without an application. Have you seen it, Stuart? I don't think
No,
so.
and I think it could be a real distraction.
Right.
You
So
know,
it's
if they're not representing either the applicant or another citizen that has a, you know, like you say, a concern.
So should we not do the early one and keep it to the end? And then if we randomly see somebody walk in and sit down, we ask them? I mean, it could be somebody coming in and says, I just want to sit in a meeting and check out
Well,
what's going on.
the thing that's an amenity about the early one is that it could be something totally unrelated, and
Right.
Yeah.
they don't want to have to sit through the whole meeting.
And I
Right.
see where you're saying it makes sense to have it in two places. So can we keep citizens' comments here above the public hearing and then include sort of a secondary part under public hearing that allows for citizen comments on whatever has been presented at the hearing?
I'm just wondering if that shouldn't be, well, yeah, it can be there or it can be just before final business.
I
You
see.
know,
So we can add it again, we
yeah,
can keep it down here.
right. That's where it is in wetlands.
Okay, we can do that. Public hearing, unfinished business, monthly meeting, business, new business. Keep citizens' comments here as well. Then members' comments and then adjournment. Work?
Do we need members' comments?
Can I say the members' comments? I don't know if we need
Because we
because
do
we
that, everybody
Go ahead.
gets a chance to voice during the discussion above.
Okay.
Cool.
Okay. Section 2, no edits. A motion from the floor must be made and passed in order to dispense with any item on the agenda or change the order of business. Section 3, no new business submitted for action by the ZBA shall be acted upon unless it is submitted 15 days prior to a regular meeting date. Per state statute, any application submitted a minimum of 24 hours prior to a regularly scheduled ZBA meeting may be deemed received at the meeting and may be scheduled for a later hearing. And then Dottie had a question about whether 15 days is a statutory requirement.
In 48 hours.
I mean, I don't know if it necessarily matters if it's a statutory requirement or not. It's in there. So if it is statutory, we got it. If it's not, it's fine. That's just our deadline that we have created to keep the projects on schedule.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know.
It is a statutory, I believe. And does need to coordinate with Villager. So that's always a logistical thing, but if it's not achievable, then it gets pushed off to the next month. Unfortunately, that's just basically, there has to be a certain rigor,
Mhm.
otherwise it gets messy. It's just what I've seen anyway.
Okay.
And
How about we
and
put that
we're
there?
we're much better off if we adhere to those time frames.
Okay, so now we've got no new business submitted for action by the ZBA shall be acted upon unless it is submitted 15 days prior to a regular meeting date and notification to the public has been completed per state statute. Any application submitted a minimum of 24 hours prior to a regularly scheduled ZBA meeting may be deemed received at the meeting and may be scheduled for a later hearing. So because this notification to the public has been completed per state statute, that covers all of we have to advertise in the Villager, we have to, post the meeting places, whatever needs to be done to do that. I think we can just encompass it all under state statute instead of spelling it out.
Um, it sometimes just needs to be redundant. I know it's pain, but people get funny to deal with.
So which part are we thinking about keeping or getting rid of?
Any application submitted a minimum of 48 hours prior to regularly scheduled ZBA meeting may be deemed received. That's what you're saying, Cassidy?
No, I'm good with it the way it is.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm good. I'm good.
Yeah,
Okay. On to hearings. No edits to sections 1 or 2. And then 3 and 4, we just have some condensing of the information. So the chair shall preside at the public hearing in the event of, why don't we just say, in the absence
Yeah,
of the chair, the vice chair shall preside. In that person's absence, a duly appointed member shall act as presiding officer.
good.
yep.
I think we just shortened this by taking out of the board. The chair shall read the legal advertisement and note the dates and newspapers in which the advertisement appeared.
Great.
No edits here other than to fix that. Section 3, section 6. The chair shall first call for statements from the proponents. The opponents shall be given equal opportunity to comment. The order is reversible with the discretion of the ZBA prevailing. Whichever the case may be, each group shall make its presentation in succession without allowing the intermixture of comments pro and con. And then, so I had the chair shall first call for statements from the
Applicants.
One would assume they are the proponents.
Yeah. Yeah, we're better off not to draw lines like that.
Just keep it proponents.
Oh, no, applicants is better.
Yeah,
Proponents and, yeah,
And
And,
then I had this changed to public. So the
Yeah.
public shall be given equal opportunity to comment.
great.
All right, so I actually think that we need to stick with the first one, the way it is written. It shall be made clear to the hearing that all questions and comments must be directed through the chair and only after the citizen has been properly recognized by the presiding officer and the speaker has stated both name and address, because the hearing may not be presided over by the chair. We may be in a position where the hearing is being
Yeah,
presided
someone
over
else.
by the vice chair, in which case we want to keep it as the presiding officer in
Yeah.
case the chair is not talking.
Yep.
Okay. No edits. All right. Okay, this is another one where we got to keep the presiding officer shall assure an orderly hearing and shall take necessary steps to maintain the order and decorum of the hearing at all times. The presiding officer shall reserve the right to adjourn the hearing in the event the discussion becomes unruly and unmanageable. If the meeting space is inadequate for the number of people present, the chair just took out this part per whatever. The chair may adjourn any regular or special meeting to a time and place specified in the order of adjournment. A copy of the order, blah, 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 blah.
That's fine.
Do we want to change this instance of chair to the presiding officer?
Yeah, probably.
Okay. Okay. So we want to tighten up the first sentence to the hearing shall be conducted only for the purpose of taking testimony to be considered in deliberations of the regular meeting.
Yeah, I don't think they need to have the ZBA in there.
Show of hands by those persons present shall not be allowed on any general question raised at the public hearing. Okay. Wouldn't we have to ask them to raise their hands first? And if they're not
I
allowed
read
to,
that
we
and I was
just
like, I
wouldn't
felt like I
ask
was in
them?
grade school.
Yeah, like,
I'm like, if somebody says, yeah, this plan stinks, what do you guys think? Yeah, that's the only thing I could think of. Like, they don't want it to be like a mob mentality. Because we've had that.
yeah,
We've had
I bet
some
it
like stuff
is.
get nasty.
That's not coming from the board. It's coming from like the person
Correct.
who's doing the
Yes.
presentation. Okay.
Right.
So yes, it's juvenile, but we're keeping it in because people are juvenile.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Okay, so within the limits of the funds available for its use, the ZBA may employ such staff personnel and or consultants as it sees fit to aid in its work. Appointments shall be made by a majority vote of the membership in question. What? In attendance. Appointments shall be made by a majority vote. Why don't we just say that? Appointments shall be made by a majority vote. The chair may be authorized to sign contracts for employing personnel and contracting for planning services.
Yeah.
Yep.
We did this part with Jody already. And then in the matter of the press, radio, and television, the ZBA shall comply with all of that stuff. Do we need to add the internet in there?
Sure. We could just say in press rate in the matter of public relations.
Okay, I like it. Good. These bylaws may be amended by a 2/3 vote of the entire voting membership of the ZBA. Only after the proposed change has been read and discussed at a previous regular meeting, except that the bylaws may be changed at any meeting by the unanimous vote of the entire voting membership of the board. What?
These
See if we can
bylaws
get this
may
one.
be.
All right, come back. All right, there. Now it's all on one page. That helps. That does not, that fully contradicts itself.
Yeah. I want to say that bylaws should be done once a year.
Yeah, it's right. I mean, I get what it's saying, but boy, does it seem wordy.
Yeah.
That could be a real hairball.
So, we could put something on there where, with our January meeting, amendments to the bylaws can be discussed and voted on at our January meeting.
Or you could say December for January action.
Yeah, the proposed changes need to be included in the minutes of the meeting in which they happen so that the public can review them before we pass them in the next meeting. So
Yeah.
we can say these bylaws may be amended by a 2/3 vote of the
ZBA
membership
membership.
of the ZBA. Yeah, ZBA membership. Oh my God, there's cats running around all over the place here. Okay, I'm just going to take off this whole part about except that the bylaws may be changed at any meeting by the unanimous vote of the entire voting club, whatever, it's gone now. Okay. I think we can go back up to what we do at our organizational meeting and say, annual review of the bylaws. But I think here it should not say that they are changed in December for a January vote because something may happen in the middle of the year that requires us to change the bylaws. A law has been passed. We need to amend
Right.
it, whatever. So,
Makes sense.
oh, that's our last thing. Oh God, that's exciting. All right, so we're gonna go back up to our organizational meeting and put that part in up here. Membership, blah, blah, blah. Officers, meetings. Okay.
One more up, I think. Did you have right there, ZBA's annual meeting? Oh, that's election of
Yes.
officers stuff. Yep.
Yeah. Okay.
It said review of the bylaws.
It does. A review of the bylaws. All right. So we're gonna look into this anyway, to the timing of all this, so we can adjust the timing of the review of the bylaws to say do that in January for a December approval or whatever. It's in here. This is around the time of year when we're gonna do that, unless something
Something
happens.
Right.
Yeah.
Now, do the two of you see any? Stuart, you've been sitting on a boards for a long time. We've been
Too long.
discussing we've been discussing the bylaws here since I started. Do you see anything with what we have now? I think it's pretty stripped down, but it has all the stuff that we need in it. Do you see anything like, unless somebody tells us that a Connecticut statute changed or something like that, do you see the reason to really address amendments? Unless we see, you know what, we've got to change the structure of the agenda or something simple like that.
In other words, is it good the way it goes? I think it's fine the way it is.
Okay.
I would submit it to Rich Roberts and see what comes out of that. And
Now, what do you think is the best way to do that? Once Cassidy gets the final thing done, um, should she send it to me, Tracy, have Tracy reach out to Rich? I don't know, like where our,
let's find out what our options are in terms of, because they're going to charge us.
well,
So we
that's right.
want,
That's what I'm thinking. That's why I didn't want to just reach out to Rich and be like, here you go, and have somebody from the town say, hey, it has to come through us first.
yeah, we have to find out what our budget allows.
Yep.
You know, in the annual, I know that there's a stipend for their services. We could anticipate a quiet year, and that'd be totally wrong. But
Right.
that's fine. I mean, you know, basically we need this as an instrument of service. So therefore, it's pretty important that we get it done properly.
So do you think,
So if they're going to charge us $250 or $300, I think it's well worth it.
Oh,
Yeah.
definitely. I'm just not
So I'm
sure
just
of
wondering, like,
who gets it next.
right,
Do I?
that's
I
what I'm
think
wondering.
I
Luann,
think Tracy probably.
Tracy,
send her-
and Don.
I can send him the cleaned up version. I
Perfect.
mean, she's gonna need it. She's gonna need the cleaned up version for the minutes of this meeting anyway.
Yeah.
So
Right.
I can just send it to her and say we would like, town council to review it.
John,
Can you please help us with that?
John Guskowski should have some insight as to what the procedure would offer next.
Okay, I
Okay.
can send it to both of them. That should be fine.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because, you know, we did a lot of work on this, and
We sure did.
it's really something of benefit to, it's a great accomplishment. So it's good.
I think so. I remember the first set that I read, it was, and the original that we just went through tonight was a very cleaned up version of what used to be.
Yeah.
And I mean, when I first read it, I didn't understand half of it. I'm like, wow, that's
Yeah.
a lot of references and numbers to things that don't mean anything to the average person.
Yeah.
I
Jason,
think it's great.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
But-
honestly, thanks to both of you for taking the time to go through it again.
Yeah, sure.
better than when we started.
Of course, for sure.
For sure.
All right, awesome. So I'm gonna check and see. I'm gonna make some phone calls and find out who the resignations go to, and I'm also gonna see. I'm gonna check out the affordable housing webinar stuff that Dottie mentioned, and
Yeah, I
see.
didn't see anything come through, or flew by me, but I would like to see anything like that.
Right.
I also have, if we're now in the members comment section, I signed up for a series of webinars from the last Green Valley. It's there's a couple of different topics. The first one is learn to protect the future, planning for the future of your land. So if you guys have any interest in checking out those webinars, they are now posted on the Last Green Valley's website.
Okay.
Perfect.
That the first one is up. I think there's two or three more, and then they'll post them as they come up. So those are happening
Great.
as well.
Yeah, that's good. Good to know.
Yeah, I checked the Clear website the other day, and it didn't look like anything new was really going on there. I did go through one of them just to see if it was different, but it was the same one I had already watched.
Okay.
And
So
I've been doing a bunch of different reading on like the Roberts rules and things like that just to refresh on those. Awesome. Welcome back, Dottie. Anything to add before we move on?
No, I don't think so. Thank you for allowing me to take the break, and I'll listen to the video and the tape recorder, get all the stuff you guys decided in the interim.
All right. If that's it, guys, I think we'll move on to correspondence and bills, which I don't have anything. We've got no citizens still, just us. So, anybody have anything else before we wrap it up?
Maybe Dottie would know. I'm just sorry to interrupt, but Dottie, we pretty much wrapped up the review and amendments and revisions to the bylaws. So they're all looking pretty good. The question is, do we get this reviewed by Rich Roberts?
Yes, you have in your budget some money for attorney fees, but I think also even the bigger picture is the land use office has a budget for land use fees to Attorney Richard Roberts. So
Sure.
I would ask John Guskowski if it would go under the land use office budget. And I suspect the answer is going to be yes. And then yes, send a draft with the strikeouts showing or the proposed modifications, and the cover letter is going to say we want to make sure that our changes, even though we're trying to simplify and clean up, that we are still legal. And
Right.
Update. We want to use the word update there too.
yes, correct.
I think that makes sense if we run it through John.
Yes, I think. Yeah.
Okay.
I was gonna send the cleaned up version to John and Tracy
Good.
because she's gonna need that for the minutes for the next meeting anyway.
Mhm.
And then ask them how best to proceed from there.
Good. Yep. Good.
Awesome.
Will do.
All right.
Good job, everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That is it. It's 7:52, and we will call this meeting adjourned.
Thank
I
you.
thought we